At the Krause House in Canton, taking your shoes off is optional.
Sometimes we take them off, sometimes we leave them on. Just depends.
That includes their 3 daughters and guests. Mom Jennifer actually grew up in a shoes-off home, but to her, it's a matter of convenience.
I always found it an inconvenience. You know, like if I'm at someone's house, I'm like, oh, I gotta take my shoes off, you know, so I never wanted to make anybody feel uncomfortable. So I think that's kind of where it started.
Jennifer is a nurse and says that's part of why she's not worried about tracking in dirt or germs.
It doesn't bother me. I mean, with the amount of germs that I see at work, I feel like shoes in the house is small potatoes. I don't see the connection of the germ on the floor coming to my mouth unless I'm, you know, licking the floor, eating food off the floor.
But over in Southfield, the Squirewell family feels strongly that shoes stay by the door.
I grew up in a household where we had a shoe rule, so I've always been a stickler for no shoes in the house.
For Aaron, it is a concern about germs.
Outside is disgusting. People, you know, spit, there's gum on the ground. You know, dogs do their business outside.
Courtney grew up in a shoes-on family, but has adopted Aaron's shoe rule.
I didn't have a choice. And then when we would go visit his parents' house, like I would always have to take off my shoes, and I was like, oh, the shoe rule, but I've become my husband and his family.
She says seeing their daughter crawling on the floor convinced her.
And even if it's just dirt, I just think that that's like not a good thing to have in your baby's mouth.
So what does the science say? Well, medically, there isn't exactly a clearly right answer. Studies testing the bottoms of shoes found E. coli bacteria is common. The source is generally human or animal feces, and depending on the type of E. coli and circumstances, it can cause human illness. But E. coli is commonly found in people's homes regardless of shoe wearing, and E. coli on shoes has not been linked directly to human illness. Now, studies have also found other microbes, allergens, and environmental contaminants like pesticides or lead on shoes. Clearly, if you have allergies or small children who play on the floor, decreasing the amount of pollen and chemicals is very sensible. But again, there is no clear link to getting sick. Now, on the flip side, there is evidence that having an overly clean environment may be contributing to allergies and susceptibility to infections because our immune systems aren't being trained and challenged as they're meant to be. This is known as the hygiene hypothesis. Henry Ford Health's Dr. Christine Cole-Johnson was an early proponent and suggests regular exposure to dirt and germs is healthy and natural.
A lot of these bacteria protect you against the bad bacteria. You know, you want a nice ecology of bacteria that's very diverse on your body and in your home in order to protect yourselves against the bad actors.
As for the need to take off our shoes in our homes,
there's a biological rationale for that. For one thing, there's so much bacteria on us in our homes already, it doesn't make a difference.
There's also a practical side to wearing shoes in the house, especially if you've ever stepped on a stray Lego brick. Dr. Nicole Broyette is a podiatrist at Henry Ford Health.
There are plenty of reasons why people should wear shoes indoors.
Especially with more people working from home.
Having a rigid shoe to protect the bottom of the foot and allow, the arch to be supported has been really beneficial to keep the alignment of your joints.
Older people can benefit from the added stability and traction a shoe provides, and people with advanced diabetes are at a special risk.
Diabetics, they have peripheral neuropathy. They cannot feel usually the bottom of their foot. They go to step on something even in the house, and not having any protection on the bottom of the foot can lead to infections. It can lead to even amputations.
However, Dr. Broyette recommends having a dedicated pair of indoor shoes.
Indoor shoes are for indoor wear only, and then your outside shoes are for outside.
While many people feel passionately about shoes or no shoes, both of the families we talk to say when it comes to visiting others, they defer to the rules of the house.
Oh, I will absolutely respect their rules, and I will definitely take my shoes off. If somebody asks me to, I will definitely take my shoes off.